Hey, I'm only making this because after the 10-minute review I just did, I just noticed I really didn't tell you much of the story. Um, because I was basically just trying to think of how much I enjoyed the movie and what I liked about it, and just like telling you the actors in it and all that stuff, and like the audience reactions, all this like useless shit. I really didn't tell you the story. Um, in case you didn't see the trailer and you don't like any kind of spoilers, um, I won't really give too much away, but basically it's just Denzel Washington playing Eli, and he's just on a journey across the wastelands of America, trying to head west with a certain book that he carries that he'll do anything to protect. If he has to kill everybody in his way, he will. And he tries to show a kind soul to everybody. And um, when the movie ends, uh, so yeah, I wish I could just spoil it kind of because it's much easier to explain. But when the story ends, you're like really satisfied because you look back on it and you're like, wow, I did not even notice that the whole time. Not the book per se, but certain things about Eli's character, and it really made the movie better for me. But yeah, he's just going across a post-apocalyptic land that really it doesn't fully explain kind of like the road, but it does give sorry, it does give like a lot of hints to it, and he even explains in a couple scenes to like Mila Kunis, like if she remembers anything, and since she's young and they're not used to seeing someone his age, she was always curious what he knew about the end of days. And if you've seen the trailer or even seen the commercials, he basically talks about how the war tore a hole through the sky, and it was just basically, and what I think is that it was a world war, and it just went fucking crazy, and just man destroyed itself, and it's like that in a lot of post-apocalyptic movies, but this one's kind of different in a way. You're not even really too sure if it's just from the war, or if it's the sun, or it's just a lot of things, but it's basically just him carrying a book, and you'll find out more along the way what the whole situation is, and you really don't know completely until like the last few minutes. But I kind of liked it that way because I didn't always care about the story the whole time, but after walking out of the movie, looking back on it, I really did enjoy it. I was mainly just really fascinated by the action sequences and all the characters that he ends up meeting, and especially Eli. Personally, like, you know, uh, sometimes like main characters in a post-apocalyptic movie don't always interest me, but Denzel Washington and Viggo Mortensen's character in in the Book of Eli and the Road, they were definitely by far the most interesting to me, and two completely different characters. But what I kept trying to picture along during the movie was I kept imagining that Denzel Denzel Washington was in the same time frame as The Road was, and I kept trying to imagine that he's on the West Coast and Viggo Mortensen was on the East Coast, and they were just both going along their own journeys. And for some reason, the whole time during the Book of Eli, that's all it was in my head was like, this is what's going on. I mean, these movies are connected somehow, except this is way more action, and that one has a lot more heart to it and a lot more emotion. So it's kind of like that's why I like both of them. I like The Road better, but this movie is really good, and a lot of people uh, might find this misleading because a lot of people might see the movie and go, "This guy was full of shit. This movie sucks." But that's your opinion. In my opinion, I thought the Book of Eli was great, and it was better than I expected, so I loved it, and I definitely see it again. And yeah, this was just to kind of explain the story since I didn't really focus on that at all. But it's just a guy on a journey, kind of like most post-apocalyptic movies, and also it does resemble Fallout 3 a lot. like most people know who played the game. Just by watching the trailer, you can kind of tell. Kind of like the people who made The Road. I mean, people who made Fallout 3 were required to read the novel The Road. So it's kind of like you can't really say The Road was ripped. 'Cause people were saying that like when the Road came out that it's a rip off of Fallout 3 when that's just complete bullshit because Fallout 3 was inspired by The Road in ways. Fallout's been out for a long time, the series, obviously, but for Fallout 3, they just really enjoyed The Road because all the developers were probably really into that style of art or just stories. And um, but what I was saying was, for those who are really big fans of Fallout 3, you have to see this movie because you'll notice someone from Fallout 3 in this movie. And I won't give it away, but just listen. That's my hint. Listen to the movie closely, and you'll realize that someone from Fallout 3 is in fact in the Book of Eli. So all you Fallout 3 fans, if you're a fan of that, of this kind of story and movie, besides the game, you'd really do yourself a favor by seeing the Book of Eli. Trust me. And if you don't, if you see the movie after watching this review, because you're a Fallout fan, and you see the movie and you go, "What the fuck was he talking about?" Just write me a comment below, and if you're asking, like who was the guy? What are you talking about? I'll answer it for you. I just didn't want to give it away in case you want it to be more of a surprise. But anyways, yeah, Fallout 3 fans, you should really see this eventually. Fans of this kind of story, if you really like action, um, if you like Denzel, if you like Gary Oldman, all those, you really would enjoy this movie. Uh, Obviously, if you want a more um, heartfelt like drama for post-apocalypse, then go see The Road. But if you're looking for a lot of action, then go see this. I would recommend go seeing both because both will kick your ass. Peace.